What if the reason this hasn't been your year yet has nothing to do with motivation? What if the problem isn't that you don't want it bad enough, or you're not disciplined enough, or you haven't found the right strategy? What if the real issue is that you've been waiting for permission, for clarity, or waiting for perfect timing to show up before you act? Today, I want to have real conversation with you about waiting. This may even turn into a sermon. But I want to talk about why this year can be different if you're willing to move without the feelings that you've been hoping would come first. Let's talk about it. Hello, beautiful one. Thanks for tuning in and welcome to Business by Design podcast. Your next level starts here. This is the 10-minute reset for women entrepreneurs who know there's another level waiting for them. Hi, I'm Valerie Priester, your host and your mindset and strategy catalyst. Each week, you'll get two essentials: a mindset reset to quiet the self doubt that keeps you circling the same plateau, and a strategic architect move, a practical step you can plug into your business before the episode even ends. Listen, this is what I promise: no fluff, just focused clarity so you can trade busy work for purposeful and powerful momentum. Are you ready? Let's design your victory starting now. All right. I warned you this could turn into a sermon, so get ready. So I hope you have your nice coffee, tea, or even a alcoholic beverage, if you will, depending on what time you're listening to this. But first of all, let me just say Happy New Year. We're in 2026. We're here, right? So I want to talk about this whole waiting game, right? Every January, I hear the same words from some incredible women, some amazing, brilliant women. But every single year, I hear these three words or four words: this is my year. Hmm. If you think about it, how many times have you said it? I know I've said it a few times during my journey of entrepreneurship over the last 16 years, right? I hear that all the time, or I hear things like, I feel different this time. I'm ready now, right? And there's so much excitement and momentum going into this first month of the new year. And I really believe all of them when they say this. I truly do, because I know the desire and the determination that's within our hearts to accomplish the goals and the dreams that we have. That's truth. It really is, and I really do believe you. But here's what I know: belief alone does not create change, right? So because here's one thing that I've learned over the 16 plus years that I've been coaching. Actually, this now makes 17 years that I have been coaching women through growths, pivots, through plateaus, right? Self-doubt, all of that stuff. Most women are not stuck because they lack motivation. That's not it. They are stuck because they are waiting for motivation to arrive before they take action, right? And really, we've been taught that action follows feeling, and that's not true, right? We've been taught that once we feel confident, or we feel inspired, or we feel ready, whatever that looks like, then we should move, then we should take action. But real life doesn't work that way. Motivation is not the engine. It's not. Action is the engine. Motivation is a byproduct of movement, a byproduct of action, right? Not the prerequisite to it. And waiting for motivation keeps a lot of brilliant women standing still year after year, repeating those same four words: this is my year, right? Waiting shows up in so many ways, and it can be sneaky. It shows up in quiet, reasonable ways. These are some of the things that we say, right? um I just need to get through this busy season, or I'll start once things calm down, or things like, I want to feel more confident first. Oh, here's the right one. I want to make sure that I have everything in order before I start. I don't want to do it halfway, right? All of those things sound responsible and they sound reasonable, But really, what's often happening is there's fear dressed up as logic. And we hold on to that as the reason why we can't get started or we can't move forward. And I say that with compassion, not judgment, right? Because I've been there. I know that feeling. And to be honest and totally transparent, I still have that from time to time. But I have to remind myself that it's not about feeling ready, it's about taking action to help me become ready, right? If that makes sense. It's not about waiting to feel like you're ready, right? Because many women never been taught how to move forward without clarity, right? Or certainty. We're always waiting for that. We want to know what's going to happen. And that holds a lot of us back because the truth is you can't know what's in the future. You can only know what you're dealing with now, here in this moment. And we were taught to be prepared and polished and, sure before we take a step forward. But entrepreneurship, leadership, and growth, they demand a different skill set. They require movement without guarantees. And here's the truth that really may feel uncomfortable, but I guarantee you it's going to also feel freeing. If motivation were the key, you would already be where you want to be. You don't lack desire, you don't lack intelligence, you don't lack uh, the capability to do it. You don't like any of that. What's missing is not motivation, it's oftentimes permission. And that permission that you're waiting on is the permission to begin without clarity, the permission to move before feeling confident, the permission to take imperfect action without knowing how the whole story ends. That's one of the biggest lessons that I've learned on my entrepreneur journey is that you have to take imperfect action, right? The women who create momentum are not the ones who are most motivated. They are the most willing to act while being unsure. They understand that there's something critical that needs to happen, right? And they are willing to take whatever chances they need to take, the leap of faith, whatever they need to do, because this thing keeps calling them. This desire keeps calling them, right? Some of you, your ministries are calling you. Your anointing is calling you. But what you have to know is that you don't wait your way into new identity. You don't wait for the new identity to show up, right? You move your way into the new identity. Confidence is not a personality trait. Let's get that clear. It's not a personality trait. It is evidence collected over time as you take action. Every step that you take builds your confidence. Every small action you take teaches your nervous system, I can handle this. Every follow through builds trust with yourself. When you say you're going to do something and you do it, it builds self trust. Every completed step, no matter how small it is, rewires the story of who you believe yourself to be. And here's where many women get tripped up. They think stopping, waiting, pausing, they think that that means that they have to push harder. And that's not true. They have to grind more. I am not a believer in the hustle and grind. Haven't been for years. Doesn't work. For me, hasn't worked for many of the women that I've coached because it only leaves you feeling like you have not accomplished enough, right? So it's not about forcing yourself into action. That's not what I'm inviting you into. Stopping the waiting game is not about doing everything. It's about doing one thing, one thing consistently, right? One decision that you've been avoiding, or one action that you keep rescheduling, one step that you've been talking about longer than you've actually been taking action on, right? You just keep talking about it. Nothing really pinches my heart more than to hear women constantly say, I have this vision, I have this dream. This is going to be the year that I'm going to do it. This is how I'm going to do it. And they lay out all the plans. And then 2 weeks later, I check in. How's it coming? Where are we? And they haven't moved. It's just a lot of talk. And I'm going to speak really frank here, and it may sound harsh, but the truth is, talk is cheap. Enough with the talk, right? This is the year that you stop waiting, not because life suddenly gets easier, because it doesn't, right? But because you decide that you don't need perfect conditions to move forward. Every single thing that we do starts with a decision. You don't need more time. You don't need more clarity. You don't need a better plan. You need to choose, decide movement over delay. And that choice doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It can be quiet. It can be simple. It can be small, even, but it must be real. So let me ask you something important. What have you been waiting to feel that you're ready for before you act? Right? Or what is the feeling you've been waiting to feel? Is it confidence? Is it certainty? Is it validation? Is it energy? Right? Now ask yourself this. What would change if you acted without it? Because the women who build momentum don't wait for the feeling. They let the action create the feeling. I'm going to say that again. Let the action create the feeling. So this year doesn't require a reinvention. It requires a decision. That's all. A decision to stop overthinking, a decision to stop outsourcing your readiness to the future, because that's what you're doing. You're putting everything off to the future, and none of us know what the future holds, right? A decision to trust yourself enough to begin. We are not guaranteed tomorrow. None of us, right? What I experienced with my husband in the health emergency last November taught me that lesson greater than anything else. Tomorrow is not promised to any of us. So let's stop saying that I'm going to wait until next month or I'm going to wait until things slow down. Let's focus on now. Now is the time to make the decision. Remember, designing your victory is a choice. I told you this could turn into a preaching moment for me, right? Because I'm so passionate about this. But to design your victory, you must start with a choice. You must start with a decision. You must start with one action that you've been postponing and take it before, let's say, the week is over. Can you do that? I challenge you to find one thing on that massive to do list that you have been putting off, waiting until you feel ready, waiting until you get all the ducks in a row, which never will be. Take that one thing and take one action step. I don't care how small it is. It could be just making a phone call, sending an email. I don't care how small it is. It could be setting a date. But take that one thing and take action before the week is over. I hope this helps because the truth is, the world is waiting for you. I'll see you next time. Well, my amazing ones, that's your focus shift for today. If it sparked a new thought, follow the show and share it with a friend who's also ready for clarity. For those of you that have been following me, I want you to know I truly appreciate you. For those that are new to me, thank you for tuning in, and I hope you continue to follow. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share. Sharing is caring. Want to keep the momentum going? Check the show notes for my newest free resource. You can be sure it's most timely to help you take your next confident step. I'll meet you next Thursday for another dose of mindset and strategy tailored for the business and life you truly want. Remember, designing your victory is a choice. Start with one clear, purposeful action today.